All right, so this is a recording regarding production, basically, on a large InDesign document that I have open right here. And it's lovely. It's got lots of images in there. It's got a nice cover. Everything is really, really nicely done, except lots of images, if not all, are RGB, red, green, blue, and they're not print colors. So this is not a print-ready document yet. So this is what we're going to do. How do you manage that? So first, you need to find out which images are in CMYK and what images are in RGB. So first, you go into the very, very bottom down here in your window. It says no errors because I have my settings as basic working. So first, I'm going to open the Preflight panel. And here, as you can see, the profile is basic working. So there's nothing really, really fancy about it. It's the standard straight from the software. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new setting. Define profiles. And I'm going to set up this document as a CMYK. So first, in the Preflight profile right here, so I'm going to open my color submenu right here. I'm going to turn it on. So first it tells me, of course, I cannot modify the basic. Do you want to create a new profile? So yes, please. I'm going to call it CMYK. And I'm going to go into transparency, blending, color spaces, and modes not allowed right here. So anything that I don't want is I want to check. So I don't want to have any RGB. I don't want any lab colors because they're basically the same kind of thing. I don't want any HSV, and I don't want any spot colors, such as using Pantones. I just want to have everything in CMYK, and gray is acceptable because they're basically shades of black. Another thing within this profile that I'm going to set up quickly is, of course, by default, I have overset text, so it's going to red flag that, but I also have images and objects right there. So I want to have, make sure that I have, my image resolution at a minimum of 250 dpi, which is for print. So I turn it on. This is selected. Good. Everything's good. I'm just going to close that. Oh, actually, non-proportional scaling of placed object. That's a good idea to actually turn on as well. Use transparency. Don't matter. Okay, I'm good. I'm going to turn that on. Yeah, this is good. I'm going to click OK. So now in my pre-flight, again, it says no, it shows no error because I'm still in the basic working, and now I'm going to switch it to CMYK. And then suddenly I have 167 errors in this document. So we're going to try to fix some of them, not all of them, because this is going to take too long. So first of all, I'm going to make this longer because I have images and objects. I have 59 errors in there. So image resolution is one of them. And you can see that there's, on this photo right here, it's on page 1. See, there's little numbers on the side right here, page 1, 3, 5, etc. And I can double click on that, and this is my image right here. It goes straight to the image within this text frame right here. So there's a resolution problem right here. Non-proportional scaling, there's 16 of them as well. So I can double click on that. And it looks like it's the same image as well. So I can, select it right here, and it has been, as you can see, stretched 84% wide by 17% top. So it's probably for the effect of using more of the colors than anything else. So I'm just going to leave that one. I'm going to check a couple more. So I'm going to check this one right here. Again, you double click on it, and it highlights it in your page, which is this specific one right here. So I select it, and it's 38 by 37. So it's not quite the same. So I'm going to just click on that. And there's one less. We have 166 errors. But the one thing that I want to go over, so again, so this is something that you guys can pay attention to. Make sure that your images are scaled proportionally in your document. What I want to pay attention to is your image resolution right here, as well as the color mode. Right, color space is not allowed. There's over 100 of them. So if I have a path right here, so that's an object within my document, meaning that there's a color within my color palettes right here, that is not CMYK. And I can see right here, just by opening the swatches, I have a lot of RGB right here, and I have some other color themes. So those are CMYK. So I'm thinking that path right here on page 1 is probably using an RGB. So I'm just going to double click on that. That path right there is using bingo, the RGB color. So first of all, never have RGB colors in your document. So to get rid of some of them very quickly, we can go into the hamburger menu in the upper right, and then you go select all unused. So any colors that is not used, you can delete. So, well, right now they're CMYK colors and they're not being used, but within the rest of those color themes, there's all those colors that are not being used. So you can trash them. You don't need them. You can close that. But what I want to modify are my RGB colors right here that are kind of strange. So this, I double click on that, and it's almost white. So instead of a color mode RGB, I'm going to switch that to CMYK. I'm going to keep it in process, not a spot. And I'm going to name it with a color value, because right now it's RGB colors, right? RGB values. This is the CMYK value. So I'm just going to switch it like this. So that's one less problem. Actually, a bunch less, 162. I'm going to go in the same thing here. I'm going to do that with all those colors as well. Come on, right here, CMYK. Make sure it's processed. Boom, done. Okay, so we've got rid of a bunch of problems, 147 errors. All the colors in your palette are CMYK, so that's a huge improvement already. The next one is, again, you have an Adobe stock image right there in the background, and it likely is an RGB. So you can manually change them, right, one by one, but when you have 89 images, that's a lot. You can go into your links, and this is a JPEG right there. So you can go within your links palette right here, and you can go edit original, and it switches over to Photoshop right here. It is an RGB file, as you can see in the upper left corner in the tab right here. So I can go into image, mode, CMYK, save, quality, sure, yes, okay, and then close it, and then switch back to InDesign again. And then that one problem disappeared again. So this is already taken care of, but you have 87 more to do. So since I've already collected this document, this is what we can do. I'm going to hide InDesign. I'm going to go into my folder right here that I have all my links in, right? So there's that many links in this document right here. But what I want to do that in Photoshop. So what I want to do is I want to create an action. So first I'm going to close that window. So I'm going to create an action. So it's going to automate switching images from RGB to CMYK pretty much automatically. You can batch them basically. So you can go into actions right here, into your window actions, and you can create a new one. So first of all, I want to open a file from my links palette, from my links document right here. I'm going to open the first one, not a PNG or JPEG right there. And it's this tiny little object. It's pretty small. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new action. So I'm going to create a little plus at the bottom down here. I'm going to create a new action. I'm going to call it CMYK, right? Set as default action, sure. Function key, don't really need one. And the color, you can also give them basically a tag. I don't need any of that stuff. I'm just going to record it. So at this point, you can see that the little tools at the bottom, I'm in recording mode. It's highlighted and it's red. I can stop it in time. So right now, I'm going to do an action. So I'm going to go into image, mode, CMYK, and it's already added a sub in my CMYK preset right here. And I'm going to save. So Command S, save options at 12, sure, maximum. And I'm going to close it. And see, all of those actions have been recorded right here. So I can stop doing that. So now what I can do is I can find a folder. Sorry, I can go into File, sorry, and I can go Automate, and I'm going to batch things. I'm going to find my folder, right? So I'm going to go play that action, the CMYK action, right? I'm going to find my source from my folder. So I'm going to choose my folder, and that is my folder. Perfect. It's already linked. So this is my assignment 1, layout composition. That's my links folder that has all those images. I'm going to choose that one. So, and any images that is RGB will turn into CMYK. And I go destination none because I don't want to have it in a different folder. I don't want to save it into the same folder. And I'm going to ignore all that stuff for now. I'm just going to go OK. And this is what it's going to do. So it's opening a Photoshop document in there because there's also a PSD document in there. So format, Photoshop, save. Save changes, PNG, please save. So the problem is there's also some PNG files in there, and that's creating my problem right here because they're not all JPEGs in there. So since I've converted that stuff earlier, I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to my links palette, my links folder. I mean, I'm going to click on the kind right there. So I see all my Adobe Photoshop and then all the JPEGs and then all my PNGs at the bottom that I have already converted earlier to JPEGs. I'm just going to delete them. And it's going to simplify my task right here. So go back to Photoshop. I'm going to move this back. I'm going to go back to Photoshop. And again, I'm going to go File, Automate, Batch, CMYK. Sure, that's the folder that I want. Okay, right there. Go OK, and it opens up a bunch of images all at once. So it does its thing. It's opening every image, and it does it for you, unless they've already done like this guy. And you can see in the upper left corner right there in your tab, it says RGB right there, and then right before it saves and closes, it should have done all of them all at once. There you go. See, they've all been modified today at 1:41 p.m. I can go back to my InDesign document. It's going to update all of those files. I need to do that manually because they haven't updated. I haven't edited them through InDesign, so therefore I have to go and update all instances. So if I click on that, it updates everything because they're already linked. So I can just grab all of them, press and hold Shift, and then hit the little update link right there, which is it looks like a little recycling icon right here, and it just switches all that stuff all at once. Except there's one of them that is giving me grief. It's the PNG. So I can go to the link. It's this guy right here. And we lost the link in there. So I'm not going to try to fix that one for now. But I went from 160 some errors to 89 errors right now. So it's not bad. We still have some other issues. But again, it takes a while to fix those type of documents when there's that many images in there. But I was just wanting to show you how you get to your pre-flight and what it is used for. Basically, it's like a pilot pre-flight. You make sure that your document is ready to fly to the printer, and it's all in CMYK. So this tends to be a little bit tiresome to do the same thing over and over and over. So I always suggest to do part of the production, part of the conversion to CMYK as you go along with it. So once you have your page layout ready, then you just go, okay, you know what, I'm going to do 5 or 6 images at a time. That way you don't have to do 160 all at once. Batching them in Photoshop helps. It cuts a lot of time. It will take a lot less time than usual, but it's not over yet, right? So here, we're battling 89 errors within this document, and mostly it's image resolution and non-proportional scaling. So those are the things I would have to go and manually make sure that they're perfectly fine. We still have colors, and then we have that one missing link, which is that guy that was highlighted right here in my links palette right there. So I would have to relink him, and because they have weird names, you can see it's like A059 whatever something .png. I'm not going to chase it around because there's just too many images in there. I'm not going to do that right now. So I'm going to ignore it for now. But again, this is something that you need to fix. In your color range, again, you have we still have some color spaces not allowed, such as rectangle. So if I go into the rectangle right here, what color is this? So this is, I thought we had gotten rid of the colors in my swatches, but that must be a custom color. So I go into my color right here, and yeah, bingo, it is still in RGB right here. So I'd have to go CMYK, and then one less done. Compound path, same thing. Because this is not a color in your swatches, it's really difficult to go and edit every single object manually, right? So if you select all that stuff together, again, oh, it shows me multiple colors, so I'm not sure. Right, because there's compound paths. Hola. This is not an easy document to fix. Switch to CMYK all at once, and then I'm getting rid of some of those graphic frame again. This graphic frames has a color again, so maybe I select all of those all at once, and I don't put a color in there. And nope, they need to have a color. Ooh, this is painful. So I'm just going to do this, make them all one color, switch to CMYK, and then we get rid of some of those problems. Again, not using the color in your swatches, not creating a swatch, sorry, I should say, then you can't edit all at once, the whole document all at once. So when we're running into some problems that you guys, again, you have to fix manually. So again, so this is, keep things in mind that you have to do. Eventually, you will have to do some production, meaning making sure that the file is ready to print. And here, these are the typical problems we're running into. So number one, we have RGB colors, colors that are not in your swatches, files that are RGB in PNG, in whatever, all those formats. And then we have also image resolution problems. So here, this is another one as well. I can go in there. This is a screenshot. So this one I would have to go manually and edit this document right here. Such as right here, edit original, and I would have to go under image, image size, and make sure when you're resampling, when you're increasing to 300 dpi, make sure that you have all of those linked right now. So it's, if I change that to 300 dpi, it's not going to change the size of my document, and it's going to increase the file, and it's going to make it really crummy. So you make sure that you unselect resample, and everything is linked together. So if I change to 300 pixels per inch, and make sure this is all in inches, the physical size of that image changes as well. So I can click OK, save, and close, and see in my document where it's at now. So now I can select that object, and it's still way too small. Now it is at scale at 168% of the size. So we're gonna get something that is, again, really low res. So again, always look for high-res images, because you're running into those problems further down the road, and you spend hours and hours fixing those type of documents. So always look for high-res images, and those are screenshots. So it's not the ultimate best to work from, but always look for high-res images. And then once you have them, convert them to CMYK. Apply your colors and add your colors to your swatches so you can edit them easily. Work in CMYK, and then your pre-flight panel that we have here will be a whole lot less busy. So this is kind of a quick demonstration on how to batch images, and as you're running into all those problems, how to fix them. Well, good luck. If you're running into 160 problems, you're gonna have to arm yourself with patience.